So many authors, so little time. Welcome back, Book Dragons. I'm so glad you're here with me. As with most readers, I have a select few authors that I pretty much read everything that they've written. Then there's other authors that I've read several books from, but I haven't gotten the chance to read their entire catalog, and really not even sure if I ever will get that chance, but I want to try. So this is a list of those authors I've read some books from, and I really want to explore more of what they've written. I just got to make a conscious effort to do so. The first author on this list is N.K. Jemisin. I am a huge fan of the Broken Earth trilogy. It's a really great post-apocalyptic fantasy series, and it took me a long time to jump on that bandwagon, but once I did, I just really enjoyed those books. I've also read the Great Cities duology by N.K. Jemisin. But there's so many other books of hers that I really want to explore, like the Inheritance trilogy, which I think the first book is The 100,000 Kingdoms. Yeah, I'm just really excited to get into that one at some point. And I really like her writing style. I really like her as a person as well. So she's definitely one of the people that is on this list. The next author on this list is China Miéville, or China Miéville. I'm not quite exactly sure. And my experience with him has not been great so far. I DNF'd Perdido Street Station about 50% into the book. It just really wasn't working for me. It was a little bit too weird for me. There's part of me that does want to go back and give it a second shot, so I may do that. But he's got other books like The City in the City that I want to check out. And so I'm definitely open to reading more of Miéville's books, and at some point in my reading journey, I'm sure I will get around to that. But not a high priority, but he's definitely someone that I want to explore more of. The next one on this list is George R.R. Martin. Now, you may be really shocked to hear that, because if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that A Song of Ice and Fire is my favorite book series of all time. Just because he's on this list doesn't mean that's not true. It's just that's the only series I've read from him. And I really want to explore more. I do own Night Flyers, which is a short science fiction novella of his. I own a few of the Wild Cards books on my Kindle, and I've been curious to take a look at those. I also want to read The Ice Dragon, which is a young adult novella. I think it's a novella. But yeah, I want to read outside A Song of Ice and Fire because I really like George's writing style, and I think other books of his will probably click with me. So at some point I will broaden my scope out into his other writings. The next author on this list is Blake Crouch. I've only read one Blake Crouch book so far, and that is Dark Matter. I own several of his other books, like Recursion and Upgrade, and I've heard those are really good too. So I do plan to read more Blake Crouch. I really want to read the Pines trilogy as well, because I did watch both seasons of Wayward Pines when it was on television, and I quite enjoyed the type of story it was telling, so I want to read the original book. And I can just tell that Blake Crouch is an author that really clicks with me. I'm not sure why I haven't read any more of his stuff, but I do plan to do that. The next author is V.E. Schwab, and I own a lot of V.E. Schwab books. I own Vicious and Vengeful, I own Gallant, I own all three of the Shades of Magic books. I don't know why I have not read more of her yet. I've only read A Darker Shade of Magic. I haven't read anything else by her, even though I own several of them. So I do plan to read more V.E. Schwab. I really enjoyed A Darker Shade of Magic, so I have a really good feeling that I'm going to enjoy her other books as well. I hope to be doing that soon. You may know that right now I have a project with my Stein of Power to eventually read all the unread books on my physical bookshelf, but that is dictated by the Stein of Power right now. Unless I just get a really strong whim to grab a book off my bookshelf, it could happen. So I think eventually I'm going to be reading a lot more V.E. Schwab books. The next author on this list is Laini Taylor. I'm very curious to explore some of her other books. I really enjoyed the Dreamer and Muse duology. I thought it was a fantastic story. It's one of my favorite duologies, and I just really think I want to explore more of her writing. I've been told that some of her other books tie in loosely to Dreamer and Muse. So I think I probably need to explore those and see if I get answers to some of my unanswered questions from Dreamer and Muse. I'd be very curious about that. And if you know more about that specifically, and you want to let me know without spoilers, that would be great. I'd love to get your feedback on that. But Laini Taylor is definitely someone I want to think about reading more from. The next author on this list is Catherine Arden, and I'm really excited because Catherine Arden had a new book released just recently called The Warm Hands of Ghosts, and it sounds super interesting, and I really want to pick it up. I absolutely love the Winter Night trilogy. It's one of my favorite series, so I definitely think I need to read more from her. The next author is Clive Barker. I read 2 books from Clive Barker so far. One is The Hellbound Heart, which the Hellraiser movies are based on. The other is The Thief of Always, which is a middle grade portal fantasy. I just absolutely love that one as well. So I think I need to read more of Clive Barker for sure. I know the Books of Blood are really popular. I know Weaveworld is really popular. The Scarlet Gospels is also another fairly well-known one. And from what I understand, that one features the Cenobites again. So I'm excited to read more from Clive Barker. I really like his writing style. He reminds me a lot of Neil Gaiman in terms of writing style. And so, you know I love Neil Gaiman, so I've got to read me some more Clive Barker. The next author on this list is Neal Shusterman. I'm a huge fan of the Scythe series so far, and I haven't read the final book. I'm hoping to read that very soon. And then I've got the short story collection that goes with that series that I need to read. And there's rumors that we might be getting a Scythe prequel as well, so I'm super jazzed about that. But he's got other books that I'm fairly interested in as well. So I definitely want to explore more Neal Shusterman after I finish the Scythe saga. Another author I want to read more of is Daniel Abraham. He is one of the author duo for James S.A. Corey, partnered with Ty Franck on that one, so they wrote the Expanse series. And Daniel Abraham has a whole catalog of books written under his own name, like the Long Price Quartet, which I hear people just rave about. And there's other books of his as well that I'm curious about. So eventually I want to read more Daniel Abraham as well. I don't know as much about Ty Franck, if he's got other stuff that he's written by himself. But I'm very interested in reading more Daniel Abraham. And they just co-authored another book in a new sci-fi series. I don't think it's Expanse related, but there's a new sci-fi series that they've co-authored together. So I'm definitely eventually going to check that out as well. And then the last author or authors I want to talk about on this list is Weiss and Hickman. Margaret Weiss, Tracy Hickman. They are best known for the Dragonlance Chronicles, which was based on Dungeons and Dragons. I have only read the Deathgate cycle. It's a 7-book fantasy series, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. I just absolutely love that series, and I want to read more Weiss and Hickman. I had never read the Dragonlance Chronicles. I know. Sit down. It's okay. I will get to them eventually. I, I do want to read the Dragonlance Chronicles, and I want to explore other books that they have written as well. And I know Margaret Weiss has some books that she's written just by herself. I think the Dark Sword trilogy is one of them. So I'm just really curious to see what else is out there from them, because I love the Deathgate cycle so much that I think I'll really like some of their other stuff. And that is my list, guys. There's probably other authors that I didn't mention on this list that I've read and I want to read more from, but these are the ones that really stuck in my mind, and I know for sure I want to continue reading more of. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this list. Have you personally experienced some of these authors and you want to talk with me about them? Feel free. That would be awesome. I would love that. Also, are there some other authors that didn't show up on my list, but you got them on your list that you want to read more of? Who are they? And what do you like about them so far? And do you think I would like them? If you want to have more of a back and forth dialogue, you can also check out my Discord. I am one of 4 booktubers on the Dragon's Den Discord, so you can click my link below or use this QR code to find the link to the Discord, and we'd love to have you join in the conversation. And until next time, guys, make sure you read more good books, and I'll see you soon.